What's it called when you ain't talked to someone in months, but you think about them all the time?
Limerence. And I've been waiting for this conversation. If you've been following me for the last few days, the last few weeks, I have been talking about limerence because I've just discovered that I've been limerent over people before. If you've had super intense, obsessive, strong crushes, they might not have really been like real crushes. They may have just been limerence this whole time. And so let's talk about it. So limerence is typically formed during your childhood from an insecure attachment that was developed from your caregivers or unmet needs. And it's like you go inside your mind and create different fantasies, or you can attach to different people, but in insecure ways. So it's not like you're really attaching, but mentally you're attaching to them or something. Limerence is defined as the state of being infatuated or obsessively attached to someone, usually in a romantic sense. It can also be sexual, but there's some form of deep physical attraction, or just an attraction to the overall being or desire to be with or around that person or thing. However, what makes limerence so intoxicating and also very dangerous and unhealthy is because the limerent object is usually not something or somebody that is attainable, right? It's usually somebody that is unavailable, who has rejected you, an ex, somebody that's a celebrity that you've never met, or maybe you've had a couple interactions with, but you form this certain type of image of this person, or maybe in the beginning they were giving you attention and then it got kind of like thrown off, or then they started giving you mixed signals, because limerence thrives on uncertainty of a connection. Like, maybe we could be this, maybe we will one day, maybe we'll talk, maybe we'll reconcile, right? And so you will find that the limerence community can be super intense, like with things like in tarot, because I do tarot, and people get really obsessed about their exes or past people because it's like so much limerence surrounding them, where it's like they're looking for any small glimmer of hope that this person is thinking about them, can reconcile. So, you have to be very careful if you're obsessing over any clues or any signs that somebody is interested or attracted, or even if it's not healthy. You gotta really nip that in the bud. You gotta say, okay, I see I'm getting a little obsessive here. But it's usually over an image or fantasy you have of the person, not of the real person. Anything or anybody can become a limerent object. But the thing is, they are not congruent. The person you have in your head is not congruent to the reality of the actual person, which is why if you do struggle with limerence, it's much easier to actually yearn for somebody from a distance, or for somebody that you can't actually have, because in reality something about them does not equal up to what you want, whether it's like they're not actually attracted to you, or they're not really emotionally available. So interacting with them in person breaks that fantasy, and it reinforces that this is not real, like this mutual connection. So it's like, if you cannot get over somebody that continuously rejects you, or has, you don't have any contact, or there's no signs that you guys are reconciling, or you see them in a much more romanticized light than who they truly are, then looking into limerence is worth looking into. And it's not technically a mental disorder of sorts, but it can overlap with other mental disorders, such as obsessive compulsive disorder, OCD, relationship OCD, which I have, and BPD, which also can be about obsessing or seeing certain people, borderline, in a certain light. And then if that image is messed up, then, the limerence may go away. But all that to say, limerence, very interesting concept, very interesting term. Think back to different periods of your life where you may have experienced intense infatuation or obsession for somebody, and that more than likely could have been limerence, especially if it was somebody that you could not have, or you did not have a real relationship with, or you had a fantasy relationship with in your head, especially if it was like a character or a celebrity, or just a crush from a distance type of thing. If you want to hear me talk more about this topic, what to do, how to navigate it, stuff like that, drop a comment, drop a like. Let's get into this. This is a really cool, interesting topic.